What do you want to hear first, Kelly? You want to hear schedule first or 11-day shred first?
First, I want to tell you that clothes are overrated.
Lena agrees.
And then will you tell me how you plan ahead before the actual 11-day shred, how you get, what you plan ahead of it?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So first of all, we're all doing 11-day shred, right? But we have, like our little team has a separate group from Great Nutrition, just so that we could keep it small and have it be really focused for these new people, instead of it being overwhelming with information about nutrition and isogenics. It should just really focus on what they're doing for transformation in these 11 days. So we have a separate group. There's 50 people in it. And I really don't do very much during the 11-day shred in it because I want to be able to focus on helping people, not managing the group. So what I do is 2 weeks, I wrote down some notes so stay on track. About 2 weeks prior to 11-day shred, my focus is solely on enrollments, trying to get my team going with sharing, trying to get myself going with sharing, following up with people, doing social media posts, and I try to already have everything created and kind of reuse images that I already have instead of trying to come up with new content, because the goal is to get people enrolled. And then the week before, I'm doing kind of last minute, like trickle follow up with people who have showed interest in the past, but really my focus is more on setting up the group. So Facebook has a really cool feature for groups where you can schedule posts, and it has saved my life. So you just go into your group and you make a post, and then there's a little button at the bottom. I wonder if I can show it actually. Let me share my screen.
I mean, it just looks like she's always involved and always engaged and on top of it and in the group and being active. I mean, and she is, obviously, but this just saves so much time.
Yeah. Brent, I can't share my screen.
I'm gonna fix it.
Okay. Anyway, what I do is first I have this Word document where I kind of pre-plan my 11-day shred. And I talk it over with Kelly, but I kind of more just plan it and then ask Kelly what she thinks. Because we co-run it, but I know she's got so much else going on. And I think Kelly and I have learned how to work with our strengths because we have different strengths. And I would say that's a huge tip, is when you're doing this, don't try to do it by yourself. Find someone who balances you out and has different strengths than you do so that you guys can help each other instead of trying to like compete for, okay, who's going to organize all the posts. Instead, I basically put Kelly on the schedule for when she's doing all the pep talks, because that's her gig and she's good at it. And having her help me with signing people up and that type of thing. Anyway,
You should be able to share your screen now, Mikaela.
One sec. And you'll have to bear with me for a second because I've got a million things up. Can you guys see my screen right now?
Yep.
This is a recipe that's going to be in the next 11-day shred.
Yum.
Okay, so in your group, you can't do, by the way, you can't do this on your personal page. You can't schedule posts, which would be really nice if you could, but you can't. But you just go in to write a post, and you can add, add your photos to it if you want to. And then down at the bottom, there's this little schedule post button. So you click that and you can choose a date that you want it to post and the time. So I go in ahead of time and do that the week before. So all of my posts, you'll see I have 6 more scheduled posts. At the beginning of this challenge, there were like 50. There were a lot of scheduled posts.
Mikaela, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So when you're scheduling those posts, so a lot of your so we're running a contest inside our page, and it's post a picture of your shake. Are you scheduling that at the exact same time every single morning, or do you kind of change it to make it look like it's not a scheduled post?
Nope. I don't really care if it looks like it's a scheduled post or not. I do it, and what I've learned, this is some feedback I've got, is that people like to know what to expect and they like consistency. So for example, I'm going to detour for just a minute. So Kelly just mentioned we have a post your shake post, and we'll talk about the points things here in a second. We do this post your shake every single day. And then the other scheduled post I have is we do one challenge, and then we do one live video, which is not scheduled. That's anytime really, but that was the feedback I got, is people said, well, there were 2 videos on one day and there was no video on another day. I like knowing when to expect them so I can go in and watch it. But so yeah, Kelly, I do them at the same time. I try to block them out throughout the day. So the shake post is always at 6 a.m. just because I wanted to catch our East Coasters to be able to get them early. And then the challenge post I think it's at like 9 a.m. or so. And then not every day, but some days there's another post it's not worth any points or anything. It's just there that I'll do in the afternoon. So sometimes it's like a cleanse day check-in. Sometimes it's recipes, something like that. Okay, I think I can stop sharing my screen unless you guys want to keep looking at this.
No, that's really good, Mikaela. And do you know, is that a admin only option, or can anybody do it?
Scheduled posts?
Uh-huh.
Let me see if I can do it in Great Nutrition.
I think it's just an admin thing.
It's just an admin thing.
Okay.
So whoever you want to be able to do posts, you would want to make sure they're an admin. So in our group, it's just Kelly and myself that are admins. But that might change for the next group because we have leaders stepping up. So on that note, one of the things that we did differently this month from last month is Kelly and I and Brent did all of our live videos. And our live videos go along with the challenge post for the day. I basically have like a theme for each day. So like Motivation Monday, Thankful Thursday, Transformation Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, Fun Friday, like kind of a theme to give myself some focus. And it might help you guys too, to just not be like, what do I think about? What do I post about? And to me, this challenge was really important to have people fix their mindset first before they fix their health, because that's the way that you make changes in your health, is to focus on your mindset. So the first part of the week, we don't post too much about the products themselves. And towards like now this week, the posts are things like, okay, which Isogenics products do you want to try next? Who are you going to share with? How do you earn money? That type of thing. But we don't focus on that in the first week. Can you guys hear the door slamming? My kid's trying to break it, so I'm glad you can't hear that. Karis, go find Daddy. Sorry, distracted. Okay. Oh, so the thing that we did differently is I wanted to give Malia and a couple of our other leaders that are they're new to the system, but they're showing great interest in wanting to do this and help other people be healthy, give them a really easy way to wet their feet into this without saying, okay, go create your own new group. So Malia and Kaylee and a gal, Amy, they all did a live video. And that was kind of like their stretch goal. And that might be a really good way to get some of your team involved next month, is to offer, hey, would you like to just be part of running this, and say, I'll do most of the posts, but would you like to just pick one thing, one day that you're going to share something, and it doesn't have to be long. Malia shared about consistency. Another girl is a working mama, and she shared about how to make time for herself. Another one talked about perseverance. So they're all just whatever fit them. It's not like they had to go do research on, let me explain to you about macros. No, we're not going to make people do that. We just call Brent and say, can you come talk about macros? So again, playing to people's strengths and not trying to like cookie cutter this into some format. It's got to work for you. Oh, and then the big thing is at the end. So like the next 2 days, we're focusing big time on what's next. So instead of just challenge wrap up, we're talking about, okay, how do you stay on track for lasting change? How do you hold yourself accountable when you don't have this group here to really, and I think we have almost everyone from last shred is in this one. So it worked to keep people going. But I think it really took a lot of focus in the second week. Okay, any questions on that so far?
I'll ask you a question. And Kelly, thanks again for taking care of starting up the call. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Mikaela, when you organize this, okay, so when you organize this group, or you organize this, can you give me, let's say, like, and I know this kind of putting you on the spot a little bit, but break it down in maybe like into 3 or 4 categories of your first couple of days, what you talk about, second couple, third, and how long before the challenge did you start the group?
So I did it the same both times. So this month was actually a lot easier because I copied what I did last month, right? And no one has complained about that, so that's good. No one has complained about the posts being the same as, like, even some of my graphics are exactly the same as last month, and I have the same people. I'll share my screen again real quick and I'll show you the outline that I use. And again, remember, this is just me. It doesn't have to be this way for everybody else. This is just how I work. So for example, I have, can you guys see this?
Yes.
It's a Word document. So I schedule out my days first. This is from May, obviously. I pre-wrote my posts, and this was like my announcement at the top. So as I added people in, they had information right away. But then I just went through and I did my title. So Monday mindset, talk about it Tuesday. My goal was to share a quote and a challenge, which ended up just meshing those together, giving myself a video topic so that on the day of, I'm not like, oh no, I didn't do a video today. What should I talk about? I've already at least got a prompt. And you'll notice here in these ones, so I talk about why we're here. We did one isogenics thing at the beginning, but then we're talking about wellness. We're talking about cleansing. We're talking about joy. Like, we're not talking about diet hardly at all. And then in the second week, we talked about isogenics. We talk about healthy meals, wrap up, and then also sharing and how to earn. So that's kind of my basic outline, but you don't have to do it that way. And we mixed it up a little bit, but not all the way for this month. Yeah, Kelly says, I'm an author and I like to write. I do like to write. I have a blog. I'm a words girl, so yours don't have to be that wordy. In fact, I think sometimes it's better if they're not that wordy. But that's just the way I roll. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, and honestly, that's pretty awesome, because my brain doesn't work that way. And so when I see somebody who has it laid out in an outline like that, I would tell all of you, obviously that works better, and I would encourage all of you to do something along those lines. Now, what I'm going to preface this with, and Mikaela, I want to tell you how much I value what you're giving us here, and so I'm just kind of interjecting for a minute. First, let's go back a little bit. So Mikaela, how long have you been with Isogenics?
Almost 4 years.
And how many people have you enrolled personally?
Close to 30.
Okay. So before you jump on this and you go, oh my gosh, I'm going to create my own group and I'm going to create all this and I'm going to duplicate this, I'm going to do all this, I want you to think about a couple things: how long Mikaela's been doing this, what her background is, and how many people she's personally enrolled. Your choice, it's up to you how you want to do this. My recommendation is that if you're relatively new and you have a small group and you're not necessarily attached to Mikaela, or or whatever, or you just want to run a small group, is to create a messenger group. And within that messenger group, have your 3 or 4 people in that messenger group, and then follow a similar outline of what Mikaela's doing, okay, in a messenger group versus an actual Facebook page. Now, if you've enrolled a dozen people or a couple dozen people, and you've got a decent following of people, and you would like to create an actual Facebook page and mirror what Mikaela's doing or doing something along the similar, then that's fine. Just recognize the fact that a messenger group is a lot easier to handle, and it may not require your new people to be in so many different groups, right? The next thing is, and I talked to Mikaela about this, is because we are going to run this the first Monday of every month, we're going to do this 11-day shred first Monday of every month through the summer. I would encourage you, if you start a messenger group or if you start a Facebook page, to use the exact same messenger group or the exact same Facebook page every single month. Just change the name. Okay, shred May, shred June, shred July, whatever. Because some of your people may not stay in the actual purchasing of the Isagenix, but they may stay in the group because they like the community that they found. And then those people eventually come back because they like it. Whereas if you constantly change your groups, then you're losing those people and they may never come back, or you may forget to add them. So I would always encourage you to keep your group together and run forward with that group each time, right? And following that type of a format, Mikaela shared is phenomenal, quite honestly. And it's just something that I say, and I can actually say I apologize for the fact that we don't do that in Great Nutrition, but my brain doesn't work that way. I'll start doing it, but it's certainly something that is helpful to all of us to do.
Okay, question.
So, go ahead.
So on that topic, would you suggest that we delete all of the prior posts? No. Because as far as like the shake contest ones, like saying
they're going to go away anyway. They're going to fall off most people's view anyway.
But sometimes they don't. Like sometimes they get bumped up on accident to, maybe not accident. Sometimes they get bumped up and people see it and they're like, oh wait, that was from 2 years ago.
You could, I guess, if you really wanted to do that, or you could just turn off the comments on those old posts. Because if you turn off the comments, then they can't be bumped back up to the top because nobody can comment on them, which is what drives them back to the top. And that way you as the admin, if you want to go down and find them and revitalize them or edit them and then bring them back to the top. Because here's the power of not doing that. The power of not doing that is, let's say that Aaron commented on a post and here it is a year later, and you're like, and you got Aaron and 20 other people that comment on those posts, and Aaron is no longer really active in the group. He's doing whatever, right? When you go back in there and you re-engage that post, he gets a notice that a comment's been made on a post that he tagged that he was in a year ago. I'll go through some of the Great Nutrition posts every now and then, and I'll look for the oldest post I can find, because I know that if I bring that back to the top, there's a whole bunch of people that have commented in that post that may not even be using the nutrition anymore, but they're going to get tagged on that comment if they're still on the page. And so that kind of makes them go, oh, maybe I should look at it again. Right? Here's the thing. Think about it. Facebook, Instagram, all these companies, what are they really selling? What is it that they own? They own data and they own people. Right? So if you've got people that posted 2-3 years ago and you can bring them back by simply making a post, that's a big thing. That's why you keep those people on the page. So,
Carla
has
right.
Go ahead.
Hi.
Go ahead, Carla.
What I just wanted to say is that we work in our Battle Buddies group. We have like 600 people or so in there. And thankfully this time around, Leslie reached out and she's helping me. So every other day, we just do one post every other day. And we tag everybody that has signed up to be in the shred. So that's what we do. It's a pain in the butt, but that's how we do it. And some posts are scheduled, some posts are not. But also, and I don't know if you guys talked about it or not, because I got on a little late, but the best thing that we did this time around was create the accountability groups, because those people are getting to know other people within the team. They're getting to know people that are kind of like them, just different people. Now they're going to other people besides just me, and it's so good. It's Michelle teamed up with somebody named Sherry, and I got a message from Michelle, and she's like, hey, Sherry's got somebody to sign up. And I'm like, oh, it's because they were in the Shred accountability group together. So if you are a smaller team and you want to stay connected to Great Nutrition or whatever group you're in, stay in that. But if you want that personal thing, just get an accountability group of 3 or 4 people, because that makes a huge difference this time around, I think.
Yeah. Carla, we didn't talk about that. I meant to talk about that next, but we did the same in ours. Our groups are of like six-ish people. And the reason we did 6 was in case there were some people in a group that just weren't very involved, so that we didn't have anyone who was like, I'm in a group of duds that no one's interacting with me and I'm the only one. So if you put 6, at least maybe 2 or 3 will interact. And we got pretty good feedback. There was one or 2 gals who said, well, we did the group, but no one responded. And we did, our group is small enough that we could do this. And I don't know if Carla and Brent, if this is something that you guys want to do in a bigger group, but for a small group, we actually incentivized people to participate. Last month we did a daily drawing, and that was too much. I don't know if Kelly felt that way, but it was like, oh crap, we forgot to do the drawing again. So then we'd have a day where we did 2. This time we're just doing 1 drawing at the end of the shred, and it's per group. So you saw on the post that I showed you, there's a point for if they post a picture of the shake, they get a point. If they comment that something of value showing that they actually watched a live video, they get 2 points. If they do the challenge post, some of them are worth more than others. Like, trying to remember, the one that's tomorrow is finding 2 friends who you're going to share isogenics with. That's worth 5 points, because it's, a bigger weight than sharing what you're grateful for. Posting a selfie or your progress, that was worth more points. Anyway, it's team points. So whichever team of our accountability teams that we made has the most points by Thursday, every person on that team is getting a prize, which we haven't told them what the prize is. And I can't say it because I have people on my team here. But that has worked. It works really well for some, and other people just really don't care. But the thing is, for the people who do care and it does work for, it's worth it. We have some people that would not, like people I've known for a really long time who have never, ever posted anything on social media, ever taken a picture of themselves, ever. Like they just don't do it. And they're so involved in this group, and it's amazing. And then other people are like, I'm not going to do it. So Carla and Kelly and I were having a conversation earlier today about how it's not our job to get people to do stuff. It's our job to just provide the resource and let them fill their own cup, right? We can't fill everyone's cup for them. But if we at least provide the water, then they can come and fill it up if they want to. So that's basically what we're doing. And I think the accountability groups are fantastic. It also has helped me, and maybe Kelly too, but as more of a leadership role, to not feel quite so much pressure to check in on everyone every day, because I know that they have people who are checking in, and it's helped with different time zones. So how we broke up our groups was whoever came together, we put them in a group unless they didn't have somebody. So we have a couple of oddball groups, but most of them were like Malia and Andrew are in a group with the people that Malia enrolled. And then I put people like 2 gals are both nurses. They don't know each other, but I put them in the same group. There's 4 people on the East Coast, so I put them all in the same group. That type of thing to kind of give them something in common. And my East Coaster said, "Thank you for giving me someone who's awake at the same time I am." Like, that was just a small thing, but a huge thing for them. So I will definitely do the small groups again next month. I think that was the big hit. As far as tracking points, I don't want to take time going into that, but I have a spreadsheet. My former background, I've done quality assurance stuff. I worked for Kelly's husband, who does software development. So I'm used to computers and stuff like that. So I won't go into how I do that. But if you want help setting up a spreadsheet for tracking points or something like that, I'd be happy to help you. The other thing, this is also an important point. For my schedule, so Kelly had asked me about my schedule. I make a point to not get in the group during the day. So my posts are scheduled. I'll maybe check in every once in a while, or if something comes up, like today I made a different lunch today that I wanted to share. So I hopped in and I posted a picture of it. But I wait until my girls go to bed, because otherwise I get sucked into making sure I'm checking in, making sure I'm counting the points that people are getting, responding to everyone. So, and I know I'll get sucked in if I open it at all. So I just wait until my kids are in bed and I sit down and I get my evening snack, and then I start going through it. But I try not to do it during the day. Otherwise I just get too stressed out. And that's been a huge help too. So kind of time blocking my day.
That's awesome. Mikaela, thank you very much. If you guys have any questions, if there's any questions, chat, holler at me, because I was not watching the chat. I was actually listening and taking some notes. Mikaela, thank you for the, we provide the water. I love that. I don't know if you got that from someplace else. You just made that up on the fly, but that's pretty awesome. I mean, think about that.
That came from, I usually get inspiration when I'm running, and that came from a run. I was listening to a podcast and she was talking about water, and I got so thirsty. That's what came to me, is like, man, she's, if you're thirsty, you got to put it in your own mouth. No one else is going to put the water in your mouth for you.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, you think about it, right? That's kind of what, that's really what great nutrition is. That's what this 11-day shred is. That's what so many of these things is. We provide the water. If somebody doesn't grab a cup and fill it up, I don't know what to tell you, right? So, and so you guys are all providing the water. You're providing the information. You're providing the knowledge. You're providing the support. You're providing all of what's necessary. And some people will fill up their cup with that information, and some people are just going to let it run on the ground and seep into the cracks. So that's pretty awesome. I love that. I actually wrote that one down, so I'm going to stick with. I like that. The pros and cons, I think I touched on that already, as far as like the groups versus the messengers groups. That's good stuff. And then focusing on your enrollments at the beginning and at the end. I think that's really, really good. And if you're taking the time on a Tuesday to get on this call, if you're not capitalizing on this 11-day shred as an opportunity to use that in your personal social media posts, then I'm going to really say, why are you not doing that? Right? Because using this, like, take a screenshot of this of the computer screen right now, right? Take a picture and say, hey, yeah, there you go. Andrew's smiling. Take a picture and say, hey, if you want to, this is my 11-day shred accountability group. This is whatever, it doesn't matter. They don't know what this group is. But you can say, these are the people that are involved in my accountability group. This is why I'm being successful. This is whatever it is. And utilize that as social media. There's so many things to do to help your social media to grow and to be better. Some of you on this page, I'm looking at Kelly and Aaron and a couple other people that all won prizes today during the Great Nutrition announcement, right? You guys actually, I shouldn't say won, you earned prizes from things that you were doing. And we announced those in Great Nutrition. Those, again, are great things to use for social media. I'm a part of this group, and this is what I earned, and this is what I won, or whatever it is that you want to say. But use those little things as as your social media. And one of the things that Mikaela said that's so important is all of this stuff that all of this, the scheduling that she did, she said it, she goes, we didn't talk about diet. We talked about the fun and the engagement and the support and all of those things. Because guys, if you're trying to sell a shake, you're going to maybe sell a shake. But if you can sell the support and the community and the engagement, then you're really selling something that they really can't get somewhere else, right? I was talking to Victoria today. She was talking about another shake program that she got introduced to, and we were talking about that. And I'm like, yeah, so there's other shake programs out there. There's Herbalife, there's Plexus, there's all these different companies out there. But if somebody talks to me about one of them, my comment is, well, I have two comments. One is, I would love to hear about your compensation plan, because I know when I hear their compensation plan, I'm going to be able to go, oh, that's really interesting. That's too bad that it's not like this, because I know Ice Drink's compensation plan blows all these other compensation plans out of the water. But my other comment, when somebody says, well, what would you compare this shake to this shake to? And I always say the same thing. I'm like, you can go with whatever shake program you want, but you're not going to get the support and the information that you're going to get from my team, right? From my group, from my organization, from however you want to word those words. They're not going to get you. So when somebody says to you, well, why don't you use this versus that? Or would you be interested in this versus that? Then you just sit there and go, no, you should use this because you're going to get me. You're not going to get Mikaela, Kelly, Michelle. You're not going to get all of you girls that as somebody to help them through their program if they're with another group, if they're with another. So don't even debate the shake. It's not even a point, right? Don't even have that conversation. Just say, look, you don't get me, right? Because they don't. So I really love that, and I love the organization that you put together on that, and we're going to do something with that.
One more thing, a huge selling point for getting people on the shred is the meal plan. So I know some of you, I probably have like maybe 5 or 6 of you like Wednesday before the shred, hey, can we get the meal plan? And there is a reason that I don't give it until the very end. And it's because even though we're going to give it anyways, it's like the bonus part that everyone's like, man, where do I get this meal plan? I want the meal plan. And there's nothing special about the meal plan, you guys. Like, I don't even make all the recipes. I just put them together. But that's a huge selling point is people, at least a lot of the people in our group, they're like, I don't have time. 2, I don't know where to start. 3, I'm overwhelmed. Like, well, I've got a meal plan for you. And if you get the shakes to go with it, you can have the meal plan. And then as the shred goes on and people were posting on Facebook, if someone reaches out and they're not quite ready to start the system, then I say, here's a copy of the meal plan. So while we're already in it, so that they can see this is the type of thing you get. So feel free to use stuff like that. Like, we're giving you a meal plan, or whatever. We're going to have a fun challenge, or people like freebies. So if we're not going to give them a freebie other than their health, a lot of people need that extra incentive. Hi, AJ. That's my cousin right there.
That's awesome. No, and that's a great point. And that's one of the reasons why, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but that's one of the reasons why I tell people, look, I don't want people added into Great Nutrition that aren't part of our team. Because one of the values of being on our team is having access to all of the information that's in Great Nutrition. That's one of the values. And if you're not on our team, then you don't get that, right? And I think that's a great thing. And I don't think you're wrong at all in that, okay? Because you put in a ton of work. Tracy and I have put in 8 years worth of building an organization, and I don't think that it's ungracious of me to tell somebody who's in another team that you can't be in my team, you can't be in that group. I think that group is special, and I want all of you to know that group is special and is all for you. And you guys can run it just like your own page. I don't care, but just know that it does have that value, right? It's got a lot of value. So. All right, it is 6:44, so let me wrap this up with a little bit of information. Kelly Campbell, you won lots of stuff today.
I got to get on the video and hear it.
All right, so you better get on and listen to it. Diana Welker, did you hear you won something today?
No way.
You know what? Check your email right now and then get back on here and tell me what you think. Unbelievable.
Okay.
Good grief. See, even though we have this amazing page that's got all this value in it, nobody listens to it. So it doesn't matter. Maybe it's not that much value. I don't know.
Hey, Brent,
Now.
on that though, one of the downsides I was going to say about our group is the Facebook algorithms with lives and groups right now. There is something really wonky about it because they're disappearing. Like you can't find them unless you know to go look for it. Two, I'm not getting notified. I have all my notifications turned on so I don't miss anything. And Kelly went live and I got notified like 2 hours later. Like, so there's something funky going on with live videos right now. I'm not using it as an excuse for Diana, but there is something going on.
Don't give anybody any outs on this page. That nobody gets any outs. All right. Let's see. So there were some other winners and people that earned cool stuff. I'm going to go over the some stuff that we were talking about. This is more the business side. You guys, the Isogenics business is amazing, and for some of you that are looking for just a few extra dollars, that's awesome. I encourage that, and I don't want to minimize that because having an extra $54 a week or an extra couple $100 a month or whatever that is very important. Okay, it is very important, and for some people that's really makes a huge change. And most everyone, not everyone, but most everyone goes through the same transition. I'm not really interested in the nutrition, or I'm interested in nutrition, but I'm not interested in the business. And then they do good and they have a result, and then they share with a couple people and they make a couple bucks. And they're like, well, that didn't suck. That didn't hurt, right? To make that extra few dollars. So then they make enough just to, well, if I can make enough to pay for part of my products, then that would be a good place to be. If I can make enough to pay for all of my products, then that would be a good place to be. If I could make enough to make a credit card payment, that would be a good place to be. If I could make enough to offset this bill, that would be a good place to be. And the reason I tell you guys this is I would suggest that you all set those goals, right? Set the goal that, hey, look, I'd like to be able to make one cycle a month, right? One cycle a month, because $54 a month, that pays for part. That'd be like going to the same grocery store every month, and that grocery store literally handing you $54 when you walk out at some point, right? And then go for, okay, I want to be able to cover the cost of my 100 points per month to stay active. So you need to make 170, 180 bucks, right? So you need 2 or 3 cycles a month to make that happen. And as you continue to increase, you're going to see more and more things happen. Now, some of you are going to make it to a few bucks and you're going to be like, okay, that's great, and I'm going to be done. And some of you are going to see people that are going to make a few bucks and they're going to say, well, that's nice that I was making that, but I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something else. But a small percentage of you will see what we've seen and what some other people on this call right now have seen, and that is they're making enough to be able to offset, like they don't need another line of income, right? Like that's a true possibility. And I want you guys to know that that is a real possibility, but it will take time and it's going to take effort and it's going to take consistency. Above everything else, it takes consistency. Don't expect to, and I'm going to say this a little bit blunt, but don't expect to make 6 figures a year by making 1 or 2 posts a month. It's just not going to happen, right? I shouldn't say it won't happen, but the likelihood of it happening isn't there, right? But I'm telling you this, with consistency and with really intentional team building, then you can. But this is all about team building, okay? This is 100% to really make money in this business. You have to intentionally get people who want to grow their business. Now, they're not all going to come in that way. They're not going to come in with a big banner on their forehead that says, I want to grow the business. But they're going to come in with a banner that maybe says, hey, I'm interested in nutrition, but I am not at all interested in the business, right? Like 0. But when they have a transformation or they have something happen, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it may not be bad, right? Because and some of you may know this and some of you may not, but my first check with Isogenics was like $24 or something, right? And I was like, oh, that's funny, whatever, right? And then one month I made like $212. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But that was after a year of being with Isogenics. I used the nutrition for over a year before I ever shared it with anybody. But now Tracy and I's income is significant. Like it's the biggest thing. And I mean, it's the biggest income that we have in our house, and I'm retired. I have a pension, and the pension that I have doesn't pay the taxes on the income that I earn from Isogenics, right? That's the difference, right? So we have, you know, we're in the top, I think last month we were number 96 in Isogenics, right? And I'll tell you guys, last month we made over $20,000 for the month. And that's real, and it's possible, and it's possible for all of you. It just requires you to have a level of consistency and knowing that it doesn't happen overnight. I made that post today and I stole it from somebody else, and it talked about all the things that, you know, people don't see, right? All the things that you never see. You can't be a butterfly if you weren't a caterpillar, right? You can't get there, right? So you've got to go through the muck to be able to get to the other side. And some of you are in the muck, and some of you want to break out of that cocoon and you want to be a butterfly instantly. And you're like, I want to break out. I'm ready. Guess what? You're not ready. Because if the butterfly breaks out of the cocoon too soon, then it's going to die. And some of you are like, I want to break out. I'm ready to be there. And you're not. And it just takes time to get there, right? It takes effort. It takes commitment. It takes that different level. Part of that level, and I'm going to wrap it up with this, is knowing your numbers. And some of you, and I'm going to pick on my sister because she knows I pick on her all the time, but today we went over her leader in action report and she had it right. But it's taken her a long time to take and pay enough attention to know how to make it work. And if you're not following your leader in action, you guys, if you're not doing that, if you're really thinking that you're going to make money, but you're not even willing to fill out the leader in action form, I hate to say you're not serious, but you're not serious. You want it. That's like saying I want to win the lottery, but you're not doing the steps necessary. And some of you, and I'm going to pick on Michelle, are filling out the leader in action, and you're like, I'm filling that every week. And Michelle knows her numbers like a machine, probably better than most of the people on here. And she knows how to fill that out. So if you want to know how to fill out the leader in action form, ask Michelle. But she probably is also, Michelle, how many cycles did you get last month? 2? Yeah, so she cycled twice last month. Okay, that's fantastic, right? Made $108. But she knows more about her business than probably 90% of the people on this call. And that's because she knows how to track her leader in action. And you've got to know how to track your leader in action. Who have you enrolled? The people that you've enrolled, who have they enrolled? Do you know the answer to that? Do you know every person that you've enrolled, are they at consultant? Where are they at from being consultant? How many people have you enrolled that haven't converted to associate? How many people have you enrolled? Do you know the exact number? Right? Do you know that number of people, and do you know if those people that you've enrolled, do you know their current standing, like how well they're doing with their nutrition? Do you know if they have talked to anybody? Do you know if they're making any posts? Do you know those things? Do you know your benchmark? How many of you on here know your benchmark? Right? Know your benchmark. And do you know what a benchmark is? Do you know how many times you cycled last month on average? Because that's your benchmark for this month. So if Michelle cycled 2 times last month, her benchmark is probably someplace between 0 and 2, because it's going to be an average, right? So her benchmark is 1, right? So her benchmark is 1. So if she cycles twice, she's doubled her benchmark. But these are all things that you've got to know, because, and here's why you need to know it. The reason that you need to know this is because if I run across someone who says, I'm with network marketing company, whatever, right? I'm with Shakeology. So I run across somebody who says they're with Shakeology, and they go, what's the difference between your comp plan and my comp plan? Do you know? Could you explain the difference? so that you could bring that person onto your team, right? Do you know how to explain the fact that how they could make, can you explain to somebody how they could make $1,000 in a day in this business? On their very first day with Isogenic, could you tell them how they could earn that? They're not going to get paid it that day, but could you tell somebody how to make $1,000 their first day, right? And those are the things that's super important to know. If you talk to somebody who says, man, I would do anything if I could make this credit card payment next month. Can you show somebody how to make enough money to make that credit card payment, whatever that is? But these are the things that you need to know, okay? And I'm going to show you real quickly, and it's you plus two, them plus two, and many of you have heard me say it this way, but maybe you haven't, maybe it hasn't sunk into you in that manner. You're thinking, oh, I need to know it for myself. No, Isogenics, the Isogenics business is never about you. It's never about you. It's never about what you need. It's about showing other people how to get what they need. And if you can show other people how to get what they need, you're going to be massively successful with this business. Okay. So I'm going to show you the you plus two, them plus two, and then I'll let you guys rock and roll. Because it's Taco Tuesday, as Aaron knows. All right. So in Isogenics, if you enroll, if you are here, right, and this is you, you're a brand new person. Okay, so the first thing that this person is they're a preferred customer, because I signed Kelly up as a preferred customer. And Kelly said, well, I'd like to make some money. And I go, okay, fantastic. So let's convert you first to an associate. So I convert her to an associate. And what does that cost? It costs $29 plus tax. Okay, so it's like $31 and something. Again, it depends on where you're at, because I think in Michigan, they don't charge the tax on it, but whatever, 29 bucks, right? And then Kelly says, well, what do I need to do next? And I'm gonna say, well, Kelly, you need to enroll 2 people. And she says, fantastic. I've got 2 friends, Mikaela and Kelly. Kelly Campbell, that is, right? So Kelly D is gonna enroll Kelly Campbell, because they're the faces I can see. So you've got Mikaela and Kelly. And I said, okay, let's enroll them. She goes, let's get them started. Fantastic. And they want to go all in, because she went all in when she started. So Mikaela's going to enroll with a value pack, and Kelly's going to earn $100 because she signed her up with a value pack. The PIB, product introduction bonus, of a value pack is $100. The PIB, so Kelly decides to do the same thing. Kelly also signs up the value pack. So that's another. I can't find a network connection. My phone, my watch. So Kelly decides she wants a value pack as well. So they've both enrolled with value pack. That means, and they both did it within the same week, Monday to Sunday. So that makes this value pack worth 200, because she did 2 of them, 2 or more. And this value pack is now worth 200. Okay. So Kelly D just made $400 because she enrolled 2 people with value packs, right? Now, this is the first time, because she just did this and she just converted to associate. So she earned a $100 bonus for what's called a Crystal Consultant bonus. Okay. So she became a consultant within the first 30 days of converting her account from preferred customer to associate. Okay. So now she's at $500. So she made $500 because she enrolled 2 people, right? Now, because these people, because Mikaela and Kelly Campbell are interested, she told them about how they could enroll 2 people and they could make some money. And they both said, okay, we'll do it. And they enrolled 2 people and they both made some money. And it doesn't matter how much money they made. They both became consultants. They made however much money they made. But Kelly D made $100 because Mikaela became a consultant. And Kelly D made another $100 because Kelly Campbell became a consultant. So that's $700 that she's now made, right? Now, because she did this all in, again, this could be day 1. Okay, this could be on the very first day, because let's say that Kelly D held a sip and sample, and Mikaela and Kelly Campbell showed up to the sip and sample. So this all happened the same day, right? And all these enrollments happened the same day. She just made $700, and then she made the Crystal Manager bonus, which is another $250. So she just made $950 because she enrolled 2 people and she showed those 2 people how to enroll 2 people. Okay, $950. She could have made that in an hour. if she knew, if she had the people and she was ready to go and she made it happen. But she won't make it in an hour if Kelly D doesn't know how to do this, and she won't make it in an hour if Kelly D doesn't jump in and say, I want to make this money and I'm willing to talk to people. Okay. And she won't make this money if you can't explain this. Okay. You need to be able to explain how they could make this money on day one, minute one, hour one, whatever the case might be. Now, in addition to this, she can also get the next rank, which is director, which means that she needs to make 6 total of these manager things or these consultant things. So this is a personal enrolled. This is a personal enrolled of Kelly's, and this is a personally enrolled in Kelly's. So if she would enroll 6 people and all of them would do this, she would become a director and she would make another $750. Okay. If she does that within her first 120 days. If she enrolled 10 people, she would become an executive. So if she enrolled 10 people personally, and all 10 of those people became consultants, she'd make another $1,000, another $1,000. In addition to that, she makes $100 every time this happens. So if she did 6 people to get to director, she made $600. If she needed 10 people to get to executive, she made $1,000. Okay. So you've got to understand how to get people through the fast money. And this is the fast money. Okay. Did you know that the first time you cycle 5 times, you get a $250 bonus? The second time you cycle 5 times, you get another $250 bonus. Okay. The first time you cycle 10 times, you get a $500 bonus. The second time you cycle 10 times, you get another $500 bonus. Okay. These are all ways to earn fast money. And it's so important that you guys can explain this basic portion of this. And some of you are going to be like, holy crap, I have forgotten what you said already. That's okay. You just haven't heard it enough times. But be open to hearing it enough times so that you understand it. And whether you hear it from me or whether you take the time to go onto isogenicsbusiness.com and listen to it from Eric Coover or Jim Coover or Kathy Coover, whoever it is that you can absorb that from, but listen to this and know this well enough that you can explain it. Okay? Any questions? Go ahead, Kelly. You're muted.
Sorry, I have a comment. It's not on the comp plan, but I have a few other comments.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go fast because I know you want to go to your tacos. So because my brain works a lot like Brent's and not like Mikaela's, which how many of you are jealous that Mikaela's on my team? How many wish you or she had? Yeah, I know. Okay, but you can just write down every single day. Like I shared those posts on what to post. That way you don't have to think about it, okay? Super simple, just write it down. And that takes a lot of time away. But the other thing Mikaela does is she takes the time and thinks, it's thought out, right, prior to the challenge. So Brent, maybe just a suggestion, I don't know, if we got on one of these team calls and we did that together, we prioritized it prior to the challenge and we could all do it and it would help everyone save so much time. Because like today, Mikaela asked me to share the comp plan in the page, and then tomorrow the post is going to be, what 2 people are you bringing with you? Like she thought that out. That was well planned and organized. Like that's amazing, right? So just a suggestion. And then the second thing, Mikaela was talking about how so today we had someone on Mikaela's post was her cup is not overflowing. It is half full. And Carla went in there and she's not, so this girl's on Mikaela's team, she's on her team, Carla's not financially connected to her, so she went in there and gave her some love and kind of gave her some hard truth, and that's better because it's not Mikaela and I doing it, so she's not going to be mad at Mikaela and I, right? But it's still getting done by Carla, and you know, Carla's so nice, so it was a good person to do it. And then I want to share with you guys that I've been wanting a motorhome for like 10 years now, 10 years. And it's been on my vision board for probably over 3 years. And because of my Isogenics income, I finally was able to talk my husband into saying yes to buying a motorhome. And today we signed the papers. And that was strictly only because I have the Isogenics income. So it's not something, it doesn't have to be huge, but it can be, right, Mikaela, Carla? It's just so exciting. So it's, yeah, dream work makes the team work. It's a real business. It's a real thing. And I know a lot of women are looking to, a lot of stay-at-home moms like myself want to help contribute income. And this is one of the fantastic ways.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
that's what I'm gonna say. You can eat your tacos now.
No, that's fantastic. I love that. And congratulations on that and your teeth.
I know. They
Yeah.
feel so great. You guys, I planned this deep cleanse when I was going to get my teeth pulled out because I knew the healing process. It'd speed up that healing process and I feel good.
You do have a Mikaela brain. You planned that ahead.
Yeah, right. See,
Not that kind of Mikaela brain.
all right, good stuff. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it as always. It takes time to be on here. If I can answer any questions, please let me know. I will tell you that we talked about last week in the Focus on Fiji call, which is on Monday, that all of you are invited to if you'd like to be on that call. But we did talk about some sort of an incentive to push people toward doing three-way calls. So I would encourage you all to start thinking about a three-way call and being able to, and know that you can reach out to anybody on this page or anybody else, specifically people that get on this call. And if you've got somebody that you're trying to enroll and you'd like to have somebody else be on the call with you or a Zoom call with you, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be happy to be a part of that. And I know several of the people on here would also be happy to help if that makes sense to you, right? And the way that looks is, you know, you get Greta, right? And you reach out to Greta and you say, hey, Greta, I know someone who's interested and they have, they've been battling diabetes or they've been battling weight or something along those lines, that, because you know Greta and you know her story. And then she jumps on and she says, yeah. And when they say, well, my doctor says, then Greta can say, yeah, well, my doctor said this. So there's nothing wrong with getting somebody on there that is where you're at, right? You've got resources here of people that can help and that are willing to help. So don't hesitate in jumping in there and making that happen. All right. All right. Everybody have a fantastic evening. Thank you guys so much for being on the call. Have a great night.
Good night.
Aaron, well done. Did you listen to all the shit we were talking about you?